So I got a chance to check out the game. Could you tell us a little bit about the AI and what was the thought process and behind going into developing that?
So when it comes to the HeroBot AI, your companions in the game, it was really important for us to make sure that they do what you expect. And part of that is making sure that they support you when you need it, they use the abilities you've unlocked, and they don't get in your way.
Playing this game, I see a lot of influences as far as gameplay, as well as this four-player switching up style and everything. Could you give us a little bit of background into what were some of your influences as far as developing this game?
I'd say we referenced our own games pretty heavily when it comes to, say, the class-based operatives, the archetypes that we created for each of these characters. We went back to Resistance 2, where we had been experimenting with different archetypes in a co-op game and built on what we had learned there. With the four-player cooperative aspect, with different types of characters working together, we referenced All for One in Ratchet, where that was really our first four-player co-op game. And then the rest of it was just experimenting, trying out things, trying to make the game feel really good no matter which character you're playing, and encouraging the idea of working together as a team without forcing it down your throat. We took a lot of different approaches, and we finally landed on something that we feel really good about.
Yeah, definitely that team effort comes into play in this game. I think that it's a very strong suit of the game. Could you tell us a little bit about how you guys came about developing that exactly?
It was a lot of experimentation. So we knew that we were in for a challenge when we decided to have four very different characters playing together in a heavy combat game, a game with heavy combat. And so we spent a lot of time just making sure, first of all, the weapons themselves were complementary, so that it wasn't four similar machine guns, it was four very different weapons, and then making sure that they complemented each other was the next level of challenge. And then making sure that each one felt well balanced was the next challenge. And then making sure that we had abilities you could unlock that gave the weapon depth. Each of the weapons' depth was the next level of challenge. So that's just kind of a slight peek into the thought process behind what we went through to get to where we are now.
Tell us a little bit about this AI bot. How well does it work with your particular game style? Does it adapt to your game style? Does it do its own thing? Could you give us a little bit more detail?
It's a great question. Making AI bots is challenging, and it's been a challenge since the video game industry began. And we spent a lot of time making sure that our bots are balanced. And by balanced, I mean we want them to feel like they're a useful part of the team without kill stealing, without getting in your way, without being annoying. So the bots will definitely use the abilities that you unlock for them. And a good example is Izzy. If I am playing Izzy and I unlock the healing crystal, when I leap to a different character, the bot will use the healing beacon, healing crystal on me, which is great, useful. Or if I leap from Dalton to another character, Dalton bot will be dropping shields, or will be presenting a shield for me to fire through. At the same time, the bots will do whatever they can to revive you if you go down. So you can rely on them, but they will not steal the glory. They will actually hang back a little bit so that if you're playing by yourself, you can be the leader in the group.
Could you change the AIs? Like, could you make these bots a little bit more aggressive? Or, like you said, they're already reserved, but can you make them more aggressive in a sense that, so let's say your particular game style is aggressive, or you're more a support type of character?
Well, we're not allowing you to go into that kind of fine detail and turn knobs, but we do allow you to build your characters the way you want to. So just to back up for a second, each of these characters has his or her own skill tree, and his or her own pool of experience points that can be spent in that skill tree. As you unlock skills in those skill trees, you are modifying the way your character plays. So, in some ways, you can modify how your bots play. If I unlock certain abilities for my bots, they're going to use those abilities. So I'm kind of, for example, a Dalton or tank in the game. I may decide to upgrade my mag shield, which gives me that longer blast and may allow me to drop shields, but I also may improve my ability with the burst rifle, which is one of the more shooter favorites that we have in the game. So he becomes a really good medium range and short range guy. Does that kind of make sense? There's a lot of complexity in the progression tree that you can take advantage of, and that your bots will as well.
Okay, could you tell us when this game is slated to release?
Spring of this year.